Today, I'd like to show you how to read the data on your Spotify for Artists page so that you can figure out if you have some fake plays from fake playlists, or if you're a bit suspicious that your promotion service is not really giving you the best service there is. So, I already made a video about this before, but that was with Chartmetric, and Chartmetric is expensive, and also Chartmetric is a service that covers data from any streaming service like YouTube, Apple Music, Tidal, all these things. So today I'm just focusing on Spotify and what you can get from your Spotify for Artists page, which is free. Everybody has one. So when you log in and you see your homepage, it just says these things. The last 7 days, you have the amount of listeners, streams, and followers, but you can't really get too much out of this page. So what I recommend you do is go to Audience, and in this page, you're already going to find all kinds of interesting things. So what I would say is the first thing you can start with is the source of streams. Now, when I started working with this artist, all of his streams came from other listeners' playlists. So nothing from listeners' own playlist and library, nothing from profile and catalog, and nothing from Spotify algorithmic playlist. And look, now he's actually getting a lot of plays from Spotify algorithmic playlists, 52%. This is great. So what are these things? Your profile and catalog just means that whenever someone goes to your profile and presses play, those plays are counted here. Listeners' own playlist and library just means that after someone, let's say, went to your profile, had a listen, they said, "Oh, I like the song." They saved it, and then they go back and listen to it again, or maybe they added it to one of their personal playlists. Other playlists are playlists that are, let's say, bigger playlists, like playlists with more followers. Like it's not necessarily like a private listener playlist, not necessarily like your favorites or something like that. It's a playlist. Let's say you create a playlist called Best Indie 2023. It will go into there, like listeners that people are following. And if you have any fake plays that are coming from fake playlists, all your plays are going to come from this source and nowhere else. So that was the case in the beginning with this profile. And then there's Spotify algorithmic playlists. This only happens when you have real traffic in your profile. So if you actually have real listeners coming in, and let's say for this guy specifically, a lot of people that come in, for some reason, the ones that actually saved him to their playlists, they also really like Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen. So then Spotify starts to notice, all these people that are listening to this guy, they have something in common. They like Bob Dylan, they like Leonard Cohen. So from now on, everybody who likes Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan, I'm going to start recommending them this artist too. Now, this will never happen. You will never get a Spotify algorithmic playlist. You're never going to get Spotify to recommend you if all of your plays are fake plays, because when fake accounts go into your Spotify profile and just play your songs, they have nothing in common. It's just random accounts, just a few phones on the wall, just playing your song over and over, then switching IP, then playing it again. Like, they have nothing in common. It's not that there's like certain artist that these fake bots are listening to. It's all fake. There's nothing for Spotify to work with when it comes to data and for creating sort of like a fan profile that will allow Spotify to sort of recommend you to other artists. So this is one thing I'd highly recommend to look at. Then there's also location. And same thing, when I looked at this profile in the beginning, all of the plays were coming from all over the world. You had like one or two plays from pretty much any country in the world. And that's how it is when you work with bots, because they keep switching their IP. So they never have a fixed place where they're playing from. And it was really weird countries also. Now you can tell, after we've done some normal promotion with Facebook ads and we found the target audience, most of the plays are coming from Mexico, Brazil, United States, and Canada. That's it. So this is also what we're focusing on, the first three. So again, if your plays are just coming from all over the world, it's probably not a good sign. Your plays should come from very specific places. All right. Then there is also audience engagement. On audience engagement, one of the main things I'd recommend to look at is the amount of saves and the amount of playlist ads. Because I remember when I looked at this profile in the beginning, where it was just all the plays were coming from fake plays, it was a lot of streams. Like right now, this is around more than 1,000 streams a month, which is healthy. It's normal. he had around 20 to 30,000 streams per month, but zero saves, zero playlist ads. Right now, people are adding him to playlists, and we're not submitting to any playlists. It's just happening naturally, and people are going in and saving it. And on a good month, I had 400 saves. So this is what you should be looking for. If you just have a big amount of plays, no saves, and no playlist ads, it's most likely coming from fake playlists and bots. One other thing that I'd recommend to look at, actually, two more things I'd recommend to look here is the streams per listener ratio. Right now, there seems to be 4 plays per listener. So this is normal. If you are actually being played by real people and they like your music, they're probably going to listen again. So we have each listener listening around 4 times on average to this artist per month. When it was all coming from fake sources, it was 1-to-1 because again, every time the bots sort of like reset, switch IP, switch everything goes back to 0. So it's all like, again, many listeners, many plays, but no saves and no playlist ads. So it's also like if the number of listeners and the number of plays is the same, that's also suspicious because it just means 1 listener per play. Here it's a bit more organic. It's 4 streams per listener. And one final thing, which is a bit obvious, but I'm going to say it anyways, is the number of followers. If you're noticing that you are getting 20 to 30,000 plays a month and you're getting no followers, that's very suspicious. If people are listening to you on that level, then you're not getting any followers or any saves. Saves is when someone saves you to their collection, and playlist ads, if they have different playlists, they can add you to different playlists. So if you are just getting a ton of plays and a big number of listeners, but no saves, no playlist ads, and no followers, your plays are coming from a fake source for sure. So I hope you find this useful. Thank you for listening.